God is asking you to love every version of your spouse the same way that he has loved you at every version of yourself. Right now, you do not like the version of your spouse. You do not like this person right now. You want them to be what you want them to be right now. You want them to be loving. You want them to be kind. You want them to be the person how you guys were, or the way how you guys were, or you want them to be better. God is asking you to love them at this capacity. Love them where they are. Love this version of your spouse, even through their own trauma. Okay? Even through their own rebellion. Even if you're in the friend zone, love them. All right? For me personally, this was very challenging for me, because it's like you are loving this person because God has asked you to, but what made it easy for me was the fact that I had to understand that, my spouse was a work in progress. So God was making changes in him, but I was frustrated because I just was so ready to get out of the stand, and I was just so ready for everything to be over. But I want you to understand, when God gives you a wife, or when God gives you a husband, you must understand and develop the mindset that you have to love them at every version of themselves. Like, they might wake up tomorrow and just don't like the color black anymore. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to fuss at them for their change? So right now, they might not be the best person to you. They might say hurtful things to you. So you use your own wisdom and definitely guard your heart, right? But the version of who they are right now, God is asking you to love them through that, because God is working on them. This message is not for everybody. This message is for you if God has specifically told you that He going to restore your marriage, or this person is your God ordained spouse, okay? And right now, you are in the process of God restoring it and bringing it together. Again, this is not for you if you have just made this person your person because you in love with them. You did not consult God. This ain't for you. You need to figure out if this person is from God, because the devil can send you people as well. All right. Loving them, all right, all around, is going to help your connection with them last. All right. So if you are not married, this is actually great practice for you. Okay. Because you are understanding, and even if you're in separation right now you are married, you basically have to relearn everything that you thought you knew. I want you to understand that circumstances change people. So that's why a lot of people say, well, this is not him, or this is not her. She would never do this, or they don't act like this. I want you to understand that circumstances change people. All right. When a person is in a circumstance, they tend to do things that they never would have ever thought they would ever do. Okay. Like, we are human. And if you know anything about humans, we have feelings. Those feelings change. Everything just changes. Okay. So yes, the devil could be using them right now, but you have to understand that the enemy is influencing their actions, whether people want to believe it or not, whatever. People say, oh, well, people do what they want to do. No, the devil is real. He influences people to do a lot of dumb stuff, okay? A lot of hurtful things. And you have to call it what it is, especially if you are a believer. If you are a believer and you are in this world and not of this world, then you have a compass that you live by. You live by God, obeying God, living like Christ, being Christ-like. So a lot of your ways and understanding is opposite of what the world defines as right. Okay? So, how do you love your spouse at the version that they are, at this place of them just being, either they are rejecting you or just being this person that they are? How do you love that? Number one thing, you first need to have a made up mind that you're going to obey God no matter how you feel. All right. Secondly, if they are not loving you the way that, let's say, if they are being rude, disrespectful, all of these different things, if they're being hurtful for you, number two, you need to guard your heart and you need to learn how to set boundaries. Okay? Guarding your heart and setting boundaries will basically help you keep yourself from the spirit of offense and unforgiveness. Okay? So sometimes God will have y'all separate. However, set boundaries. All right? Loving them. Number three, not getting upset at their actions. All right? Number four is the main thing that I'm going to stress this, okay? I am going to stress this so much. Whatever you see the devil using them to do, you pray. You go into warfare and you pray. You pray in private. You do not have to tell them that you're praying. You don't got to do all of that. Okay, the Bible says go into the secret place and pray to your Father in private. You don't got to do all that talking. Okay, you love them publicly. Be kind to them through these situations. Listen, if you have a broken heart right now, it's okay to spend time with God till God gets you to the point where you can communicate with them, and he will give you understanding in that space with him, until he resets you back where you can communicate with them. Anytime God resets you, you'll have a new mind, a new perspective, a new outlook on how to deal with the situation. Okay? So we must use wisdom. If the version that they are, if the place that they are is not conducive to your emotional and mental state. So you might have to not talk to them every day if they keep calling you and cursing you out. Like, you have to set boundaries to protect your emotional and mental health, and you want to pray for them and you want to war against Satan, because the enemy is wrestling in them. The enemy is using them against you, so you stop praying, because the enemy does not want their souls to be with Christ or God. It's a war over the soul, okay? Last but not least, I need you to understand this. Doing this takes a lot of self-denial, all right? A lot of self-denial. Unconditional love requires a denying of self. Okay? When you have that in your mind, and when you deny yourself, that means you are ultimately obeying God. And if you are in obedience to God, then you will surely see God back you up and do exactly what you are praying and asking him to do. Okay? So I pray that this video has blessed you, and I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.